Right. Let's welcome to the another session of Cellular Mobile Communication, Unit 5, Topic 2. We discussed today's class. Today's class we discussed about multiple access system. Multiple access system. Multiple access system. Before going to multiple access system, first of all, we discussed why you are going for this multiple access system. Multiple access system, right? Suppose I am taking one best example in real life. Suppose one road is constructed from one place to another place. Suppose from our engineering college to your hostels, one road is constructed. Who can utilize this road? Anyone, any student, any faculty, any of the university employee can be used this road with simultaneous times. Not all at a time can be used the same road. It can be used by different time in a day, right? Nothing but a single road can be utilized by number of persons. Suppose that I am taking another example. Suppose I are going for a running race track. Suppose in running race track having 8 lines. Suppose 8 lines. Nothing but 8 participants can run through that runway. Right? Through that runway. Nothing but 8 customers having 8 tracks is there. 8 single tracks. That is the particular track can utilized by the particular participant. This is another example. The first example, that single road can be utilized by any person. But the second example, the particular track in a main track, the particular track can be utilized by the particular participant. Suppose I am taking another example. In olden days, from Tirupati to Tirumala having only single ghat road is there. Single ghat road section. At that time, first 8 to 9 hours. Suppose I am taking an example from 8 AM to 9 AM. The vehicles are moved from Tirupati to Tirumala. After 9, from 9 to 10 AM, the vehicles are moved from Tirumala to Tirupati. That is, for different times, the same road can be utilized by different persons or vehicles. Right. Here, based on these examples, I am taking here. Now we are going for the main topic is multiple access system or multiple access techniques or multiple access schemes. That is nothing but here present today's generation now here huge number of mobile users are there. But what about radio spectrum? Frequency spectrum is very less. For very less frequency spectrum, it can be utilized by many number of mobile users. How it can be possible? This is the possible by using multiple access techniques. That is, finite amount of radio spectrum can be utilized by many number of mobile users share simultaneously. This is the concept of multiple access system. Here, by using this multiple access system, automatically you're getting performance of system can be increased. That is the same spectrum. For that spectrum, we have to divide into number of channels. The same channels can be utilized by number of persons. Then automatically, the frequency utilization of a spectrum can be increases. Then automatically the performance of a system can be increases. That's why we are going for multiple access techniques. Multiple access techniques. Right. Here, before going to the main multiple access schemes, first of all, we are using how telephone conversation can be takes place. Suppose you are using your mobile phone, a call is progressed at a time, you are hearing and you are talking same time, right? By using mobile phone or general landline telephone, whatever it may be, by using telephone, you can listen voice from the transmitter and talk from receiver to transmitter. At a time it can be done. For this purpose, what is made by it is called duplexing. The term duplexing is nothing but at a time we can talk or listen and talk and listen simultaneously. This is a term called duplexing. This is available in telephone systems. Here, duplexing can be available either both frequency domain or time domain. It is available both frequency and time domain available. Suppose the duplexing is in frequency domain. It is called as a frequency division duplexing. That is, the duplexing is available in frequency domain. That is called as a frequency division duplexing. Here, for this purpose, duplexing purpose, we want two channels. We want two channels. One channel from base station to mobile station, another channel from mobile station to base station. One is listening, one is for talking. That's why I need two channels we required. That is forward band and reverse band. For forward band is nothing but signal coming from base station to mobile station. The reverse band is nothing but from mobile station to base station. For each channel or band is nothing but simplex channel. What means simplex? To transmit signal from only from one direction. We want two simplex channel for this purpose. From base station to mobile station, one simplex channel. From mobile station to base station, another simplex channel. Two simplex channels required for both talking and listening simultaneously. This is available in frequency division multiplexing. Here, for both forward and reverse channels, we want some separation is there between based on frequency. Separation is there. Why you have separation these two channels for reducing the interference? Right. Next, suppose we are using duplexing in time domain. That is called the time division duplexing. Here in time division duplexing uses time instead of frequency to provide both forward and reverse link. Here we want only single channel is available in TDD. It can be utilized both forward and reverse for different time slot. For time slot one, it can be used as a reverse channel. For time slot it can be forward channel. That is, the TDD allows one single channel instead of two channels in FDD. Automatically it simplifies. At the time TDD is now it is not at all using duplexer concepts. That is the major difference between FDD and TDD is in FDD we require two channels, one for forward, another for reverse. But in TDD time division duplexing we require only single channel for both forward and reverse. How it can be possible? Based on different time slots. Based on time slot. Time slot 1, we can eat the same channel utilized as a reverse channel. In time slot 2, we can utilize the same channel as a forward channel. That is the difference. Here, this figure shows. First figure shows. Here, see this one. This is about FDD. We want two simplex channels, one for reverse, one for forward. A separation is there between two channels. Next, here, the same single channel we can utilize it by based on different time slots. This is about TDD. Here, just now we discussed what is the differences between FDD and TDD. In FDD we require two channels. In TDD we require only single channel for both transmitting and reception purpose. For both transmitting and receiver purpose. Here, which one is better? Automatic TDD is better. Why? TDD for single channel it can be used for both transmitting and receiving. That's why the TDD is better compared to FDD. Right. Next, we have to move to the main topic of today's class is introduction to multiple access. Mainly, there are three types of multiple access schemes. That is, first one is frequency division multiple access. The second one is time division multiple access. And third one is code division multiple access. First one is based on frequency. The second one is based on time. The third one is based on code. These are major techniques are available. Here, these techniques can be grouped as narrowband or wideband system. Here, what is the difference between narrowband and wideband? Already we discussed in fourth unit of first topic, that is frequency spectrum utilization. For narrowband system, the number of channels are more compared to wideband. Here, now I am explaining this narrowband system and wideband system. Explain by using you see this one. This is a frequency spectrum. This is frequency spectrum start. The frequency starts. Is the frequency spectrum end. Right? Here we have to divide the frequency spectrum number of channels. Number of channels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is the total available frequency spectrum divided to number of channels is 10 channels. Here, the bandwidth of each channel. The bandwidth of each channel. This is about channel. Each one is called as a channel. It is called as a channel. Here, suppose here, the channel bandwidth. Channel coherence bandwidth, which is equal to 100 kilohertz. Suppose each channel having 100 kilohertz. This is about I have to assume that coherence bandwidth. Now we can go for narrow band. Narrow band. Here nothing but for narrow band system. For narrow band system, we can divide the same number of frequency into go to more number of channels. Nothing but suppose we have to assume that see this one, the same frequency spectrum, the frame frequency spectrum we used. The same frequency spectrum can use. But how many number of channels? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. See this one, this is the original designing of your frequency spectrum into channels. But by applying the narrow band technique, automatically the number of channels are increases. Then channel bandwidth. How much we are getting? Channel bandwidth, which is equal to now 50 kilohertz. This is about narrow banding. Suppose now applying wideband technique, nothing but we have to insert right Same frequency spectrum. We are applying the frequency spectrum. Starting and ending, but how many number of channels? 5 channels, only 5 channels by using wideband technique. Then automatically the channel bandwidth. We are getting how much? 200 kilohertz. Nothing but see the difference here between channel narrowband and wideband. The narrowband technique, each channel bandwidth is less than the coherence bandwidth. For what about wideband? The channel bandwidth of wideband system is greater than the coherence bandwidth. Check it. This is about the concept of narrowband system and wideband system. Now we discuss. See this one. The term narrowband system. The bandwidth of a single channel to expected the coherence bandwidth of channel. Here in narrowband technique, we can available more number of channels by using narrowbanding. Here this narrowband technique is available for both in FDMA technique and TDMA technique. Here in wideband system, the transmission bandwidth of a single channel is much larger than the coherence bandwidth. The coherence bandwidth we are taking example 100 kilohertz, but in wideband system it is 200 kilohertz. That is larger than the coherence bandwidth. This wideband technique we are using in TDMA and CDMA technology. By using wideband system, automatically the bandwidth is high, then automatically the speed can be increases. The broadband, present we are using broadband, right? The broadband also based on the wideband system, right? Now we can move to the major topic. The first multiple access system is frequency division, multiple access. Frequency division, multiple access. Right. Suppose see this figure. Here in this figure, this is a frequency spectrum. This is a starting point. This is the ending point. This is divided number. How many? Here the topic is frequency division multiplexing. That is, we have to divide the channels based on frequency. That's why I'm taking here frequency. This is for code. X-axis frequency, Y-axis code, Z-axis is time. 3-dimensional frequency, code, and time. Here the topic is frequency division multiple access system. That's why we are dividing the total frequency spectrum into n number of channels based on frequency. Based upon frequency. Here during one call is progressed. Nothing but for customer 1 we can allocate channel 1, customer 2 allocate channel 2. Likewise, n number of customers can be allocated this channel. Suppose n plus 1 customer is enter into the system. It is not possible to allocate channel. Nothing but the customer 1 is fixed to channel 1 in any time. If channel is free also, other persons not entered. One channel is allocated to particular person. For permanently, that channel can be allocated to the particular customer only. No other customers can be utilized or sharing into this channel. Here, what are the features of this FDMA? Here, the first feature of this FDMA, the FDMA channel carries only one phone circuit at a time. Nothing but for each channel can be allocated to one customer. It is permanent. Suppose if that FDMA channel is not in use, it's idle and cannot be used by other users or sharing. That is the main drawback of FDMA. That is the channel is fixed to the particular customer. No one can be utilized. No one can be utilized. Then automatically the waste of resource. If it is not used, automatically it sits idle. No one can be used. That's why waste of resources. After assignment of a voice channel, the base station and the mobile transmit simultaneously and continuously. After call is connected, we can transmit both forward and reverse channels. Here the main FDMA technique by the FDMA channels are divided by the narrowband technique. For each channel 30 kHz. Each channel 30 kHz. Here in FDMA technique, the symbol time is larger as compared to average delay spread. Nothing but the transmission of a signal from one point to another point, or base station to mobile station, or mobile station to base station. We have to fix one time. Within that time, the signal should be reached. That is related to symbol time. And delay. So if it takes more than that fixed time, it automatically will getting delay. That is, the symbol time is large compared to the average delay spread. That is, we have to fix more time period for transmission of a signal for reduce the delays. Here, the complexity of a FDMA mobile system is lower when compared to TDMA system. Why? We are not any if new customers are not entered into this system because of the channels are fixed for customers. And here we are not at all using any digital signal processing methods. It is simple. That's why it is simple. Here, that's why FDMA is continuous transmission scheme. Few bits are needed for overhead purpose. What is overhead bits? The overhead bits are nothing but synchronization bits and framing bits. We discussed yesterday class. How many number of synchronization bits? 21 synchronization bits. What is the purpose for using these synchronization bits? These synchronization bits are used for header and trail bits and some flag bits. What is meant by header? It contains source and destination addresses. What about trail bits, which is used for error detection and correction, but some flag bits, whether it is successfully transmit or that it enables zeros or ones, right? In FDMA system have higher cell site system cost compared to TDMA system. Why? In FDMA system, suppose the number of customers are increases, we need more number of channels for fixing purpose. That's automatically the cost of the system can be increases. In FDMA system, we are using duplexers, one for transmitting, another for receiving. And FDMA requires RF filtering to minimize adjacent channel interference. Adjacent channel interference. These are some of the features of FDMA. Next, what are the main problems occur in FDMA? That is non-linear effects. Here in FDMA system, many channels can share the same antenna base station. At the time of transmitting, n number of channels, capital N number of channels can be shared the same antenna for transmitting and receiving purpose. At that time, we are getting some noise sharing the same antenna, and we are getting some signal strength can be varied. That's why we are using power amplifiers or power combiners for before transmission purpose to get high efficiency. But some problems occurs in FDMA, that is non-linearities can be raised because of signal spreading in frequency domain. Automatically getting intermodulation. We are getting intermodulation. Based upon this intermodulation, we are getting adjacent channel interference and we are getting some harmonics in the signal. This is the main problem which occur in FDMA. Next, here how to calculate the number of channels. Suppose I am giving one frequency. How to calculate the number of channels in a FDMA system. Before going to this one, now I am explaining here. I am given total frequency spectrum. Frequency spectrum, that is B total. B suffix T. B suffix T, which is equal to 1000 kilohertz. I'm given. Next, I'm given channel bandwidth. That is B suffix C, which is equal to 100 kilohertz. And calculate number of channels. Capital N. How to calculate? Simple. Total frequency available and each channel bandwidth also they are given. Then automatically you calculate number of channels, which is equal to how much? Total bandwidth divided by channel bandwidth, which is equal to 1000 kilohertz divided by 100 kilohertz. How much we are getting? Equal to 10 channels. 10 channels. You see this one? Is about 10 channels. Where that is total frequency that they are given. Channel bandwidth they are given. Total number of channels we are getting. Total spectrum available divided by channel bandwidth. Automatically we get 10 channels based on this example. Now, here based upon this, similarly, that is I'm taking basic example. Now based on this example, how to calculate number of channels capital N in FDM? N equal to BT minus 2B God. That is God band. BT nothing but total spectrum minus 2B God divided by BC, channel bandwidth. Here the God band allocated at the edge of the allocated spectrum. Once the channel spectrum is available, at the end of the spectrum, some frequency can be allocated to God for security purpose. That's why you have to include God also here. That's why capital N equal to BT minus 2B God divided by BC. This is a formula we can use to calculate number of channels in FDMA. Right. Today we discuss about the topic related to multiple access system. First, we have to discuss about what is meant a multiple access scheme and what is meant by duplexing, what is meant by frequency division duplexing, what is meant by time division duplexing, and what are the major multiple access systems based on frequency, based on time, based on code. Based on frequency, it is called as the frequency division multiple access system. Based on time, time division multiple access system. Based on code, code division multiple access system. And we discuss about how to divide the number of channels based on two techniques, that is narrow band and wide band. In narrow band, each channel bandwidth is less than the coherence bandwidth. For wide band, each channel bandwidth is greater than the coherence bandwidth. And we discuss about what is FDMA and what are the features of FDMA, what are the drawbacks of FDMA, and how to calculate number of channels in a FDMA. We discussed today class. Thank you very much for attending today's class. Do you have any query? Type your query in a chat box.